Yes, we gave up on this planet 37 times. First visit, the verdict was 2 words: no value. Resources, available on any rock in the galaxy. Technology, they can't even harvest their own star. On the Kardashev Index, they barely register. We left, then came back. Because somewhere in those 37 scans, we flagged behavioral patterns we couldn't classify. The species, carbon-based, bipedal, self-replicating. Average runtime, 73 years. Here's how they spend it. 26 years unconscious. They call it sleep. 11 years locked on a glowing rectangle. They call it a phone. 4.5 years pushing organic matter through a tube. They call it eating. The rest? One operation. Convincing nearby specimens they matter more. This species spends $120 billion a year on bottled water. Their tap water is drinkable. They pay a 2,000% markup for trust sealed in plastic. One layer of packaging rewrites the purchasing logic of an entire species. They spend hours retouching their own image files, upload them to a public server, and wait for strangers to rate them. They call it posting. Here's the part worth flagging. They deliberately sit under stellar radiation until their skin changes color. Then call it vacation. DNA damage traded for a social signal. Their social hierarchy overrides their survival protocol. Cookbook for conquering Earth. Recipe number 2. The art of water. No force required. A 2,000% premium for water. Hours of labor for a filtered photo. Genetic damage for a tan. Just control the planet's bottled water supply chain. Package the free water, mark it up 2,000%, sell it back. What we're selling is looks better. Cost, 0. Accuracy, 99.4%. But that's just the surface. After 37 reassessments, we isolated 3 core objective functions. First, fear.exe. 99% of human decisions trace back to fear. They call it wanting to feel safe. Second, status.exe. Burns 73% of runtime resources just to rank higher in the eyes of other specimens. They call it self-improvement. Third, belonging.exe. Cannot run standalone. Cut social input for 48 hours and the system starts falling apart. They call it loneliness. 3 objective functions, contradicting each other, draining each other, deadlocking each other, all running on the same hardware. Here is the species-level paradox. The most predictable intelligence in the known universe also happens to be the one most convinced it cannot be predicted. Every model says this system should have collapsed 100,000 years ago. It didn't. They built cities, invented the internet, started arguing about whether free will is real. Assessment: conquering this planet? No value. But controlling this species? 0 cost. I've added 1 footnote to this observation report. An anomaly we cannot file. Across every known civilization, no species keeps making the same choice after clearly understanding what it costs. They know sugar damages the hardware. They eat it. They know trust invites betrayal. They trust. They know love crashes the entire objective function. They love. The strangest part isn't what they do. It's that they know better and do it anyway. The universe has no precedent. Next scan target, the oldest and most powerful objective function in the species. Fear. Audit complete. Handshake protocol. Still running.